So, oh my God, I've pulled it up.
Hang on, I've gone live, I think. Can you?
It should come up. Anne-Marie Dempsey's trying to help you.
Right, it should be going now. Like, it's only me here doing this, so can someone tell me if you can hear me, see me? Have I done it right? Because right. Am I coming through? Right, I am. Well, good evening, people. It's obviously it's been a hard road getting there, but I'm finally done this by myself. Yeah, so you know, onwards and upwards. I'm obviously knowing that this is going to be quite a controversial video again, because there are some very strange occurrences that I've kind of stumbled across, and questions that I really want to be addressed. So, also, still haven't heard anything from John. Had lots of people commenting that they've spoke to him and they've, you know, but I think it's time, John, that you really do show us that you are okay, because it's causing people a lot of distress. And I just think you need to show that you're okay, not where you are, not anything like that, not answer no question, just show just show you're okay. A 30-second podcast is not going to hurt you. Yeah, just show you're okay. And I want you to prove me wrong. That's what I really want you to do. And obviously, the big headline, you know, news at the moment is the Wilfred Wong case. Obviously, because I've questioned a couple of, questioned the narrative, I've been deemed a troll, a traitor, you know, and the bottom line is I'm here to question, and question is now what I am going to do. And it doesn't matter what anybody's opinion is, I'm just asking questions that I feel that I'm entitled to. There's something that's come up that is very confusing to me, and I'm being quite careful with my words because I understand it's an ongoing case, yeah, but open sourced information. I was having a look into the church at Brighton where Wilfred Wong is a pastor. You know, and it must mean a lot because he travels from Camden up to Brighton to you know, to what they call, I think it's his flock or something they must call them. And this, he's been there a while, and the church was also attended by a couple of the other co-defendants, one being the dead guy, Rob, you know, the guy that had Fritley, yeah. And these people are classed as, you know, satanic, experts on satanic cults and hunting them down and exposing them. To be quite honest with you, I've looked over and over, tried to find out as much about Wilfred Wong as I can, because I don't know whether he was a good guy or a bad guy. I have no idea. Yeah, but I am questioning a few facts around Wilfred Wong's career and how he got started, which I feel I'm entitled to do. But it turns out that there is a very well-known figure within, and he's very well known to a lot of you know, people who look into this, and we're talking about Ricky Dearman. And as you all know, the Hampstead case is a very high profile case. So I've been looking into this for a while and I had no idea of Ricky Dearman's whereabouts until I looked at Brighton. And I then discovered that there was a very, very public case. A guy called Matt Taylor, who was put as a conspiracy theorist, was actually taken to court and convicted for calling Ricky Dearman a satanic cult leader. Now, I'm not too sure how this escaped the attention of Wilfred Wong and church congregation, because as it was pointed out to me today earlier by somebody who's one of my harshest critics, I ain't found nothing new. It's public, well-known, local public knowledge. Exactly, love. I'm not too sure how this case escaped the attention, because why are we not helping? Why did we not back Matt Taylor? Yeah, because all he was doing was saying what I've said and what a lot of other people have said as well. So, I don't understand how people could know about this and keep it very quiet. Also, and this worries me quite a lot, there have been claims that these rescue abductions, whatever you want to call them, have been done numerous times. And the logic for me is, what is the point of rescuing people from the clutches of these satanic cults if you're not going to expose the satanic cult? The thing is, if you're rescuing one child but not exposing the cult, who hurt children. Why is it all hush hush? Yeah, because there is not one single cult that has been exposed by Wilfred Wong, and yet he seems to be around. He seems to have knowledge of these cults, but has just allowed them to carry on. And like I said, I'm not sure how it escaped his attention that the most well-known allegedly satanic cult leader, Ricky Dearman, had sued someone for calling him out. It's just something that is, for me, a little bit sus. Also, obviously, Wilfred Wong was very pushed by Sean Atwood. I went over Sean Atwood and Callie's interviews because they actually did get pulled down from Sean Atwood's channel, but went back up. So I went over them. And Callie is talking about her SRA abuse in the number 3. And she's basically saying that she has knowledge of people that she calls the occult. I don't think she's lying. But so there is knowledge of cult. I mean, no one seems to want to talk about it. Yeah. And I don't understand why only one narrative to this story is being pushed. Because I watched Out of the Black last night. Rusty Starr, somebody who I really look up to and have been following for a while, is appealing for people to get behind Wilfred Wong. I am quite happy to do that, as long as I know what I'm getting behind. And there are some very, very, very dubious facts around this case. go even down to if the castration story is and obviously Jeanette Archer was the one who said he'd been castrated. I would like to point out that it's not the media's reporting or the police's charging that made that happen. When a guy goes into prison with a charge, this was the charge that he went in with, abduction of a child. I do not understand why he was taken back to a prison in Wales where, if this was an actual rescue attempt from the father, who, we now know the identity of, it's out there, so it's, a satanic cult, you've put him in a prison where they will have probably powers. Why was he put into general population, which is really, really, really confusing. Anything that has been allowed to happen to him in prison, anything that has happened has been allowed. Yeah, because anybody with a charge of abducting a child should go straight into rule. Well, I think it used to be called Rule 43. Not too sure what they call it now. And not where prisoners who, it is well known, will attack somebody with that charge. There's no mitigating circumstances when you go in prison, yeah, and prisoners will do exactly what they seem to have been allowed to do. And it's being blamed on the media and the reporting and no. The media reported he had been arrested for abducting a child. That is what the charge was. It wasn't the police that charged him. It has to go to the CPS, who look over the evidence and decide whether there is enough evidence to charge people. Those are the facts. And those really are facts that how the mainstream are being blamed for any harm that has come to Wilfred Wong, or the others. That's not fair, and it's really just pushing blame, where, in all honesty, for once the mainstream media they didn't put out false information. They put out what had happened and what a guy had been charged with. So yeah, those are a few facts that I think needed to be addressed. And now we get back to my dear friend Camilla. And there's been lots of people who've been saying that I've been calling John a child trafficker and that I did not say that. What I said, and if anyone's got a problem with this, Camilla is a child trafficker. That is what I said. I would just like to ask, how much did John really know about this woman? Yeah, because this woman is so dirty, yeah, immoral, but John was very wrapped up with her, and she also was in contact with John Wedger Foundation and the people, mainly Jeanette Archer, wanting to start up a charity. So, you can see where I might be a bit, and I had also expressed my concerns about Camilla not being trustworthy before I knew exactly what she'd been up to. And as I go deeper and you go deeper, it's there are some really, really serious questions that need answering. Yeah, and John, please you need to show me you're okay. Because the longer you don't, the worse this is going to get. A 30-second podcast, not a text, not, you know, you've had time to be speaking to a lot of other people. Yeah. You know, people are saying that they've spoken to you and that you've said this and you've said that. You need to show that you are okay. Whether people have got a problem with that, I don't care. Yeah, I know why I'm asking, and I've been asking for over a week now, and you still ain't popped up, which is worrying to say the least. And the reason why I say this is worrying is because this involves people that John has extremely close connections to. You know, Camilla was so connected, and Kids Company is surrounded with people who like, you know, we've got Lawrence Guinness, who was the trustee, and Alan Yentob, who Camilla describes as her boss on a BBC interview. And then you can imagine, like, my shock when I heard Kelly talking about a guy called Ray who had baby porn on his computer. But my ears popped up when I heard he worked for the BBC. And she did say he was arrested and put on remand, but was then released with no charge. His name's Ray and he worked for the BBC. Following up on that a bit, to be quite honest with you, because the BBC were heavily involved with Camilla, who has some, you know, she's got her fingers everywhere. And when I was sitting next to John, trying to expose the Hampstead case, what an idiot I must have looked if he knew Ricky Dearman was in Hampstead, was in Brighton, because you know, and the links to the Hampstead, you know, that there's some really kind of sinister, how can I say it, connections that really do need answering. After watching the BBC documentary about Camilla, I started to look at her staff members, her key staff members, her staunch supporters, even through the allegations of abuse and trafficking, which have been going around since 2002. I started to have a look and see where their careers took them. Family courts. These two people who actually still promote Kids Company as a reason as to why they should be classed as expert witnesses for the family courts. Yeah, so to say I'm diving a bit deeper, but the further I dive, the worse, you know, I'm trying to prove myself wrong here. Yeah, I really am. I want to prove myself wrong. But the more you look, the worse it gets. And there are so many overlaps with people I believe have been child trafficking. A woman who has Lawrence Guinness as a trustee, who's related to Claire Hazel, Countess Ivey, who was the president of our NSPCC, but flew around on Epstein was on it 32 times, which was, to me, I don't get it. Yeah, but she's also related, in the same family as our Rachel Chandler. I'm not even going to go into it here of what an evil, disgusting human being she is. And her family, both sides of them are very questionable. And it's nothing that hasn't been covered. And there are some very, very, very interesting connections that are being followed up. And obviously now I know where my I don't know what I'd call him, but we'd Rick the Dick. I've got quite a lot to go on there. Yeah, and I'm following up these leads, and I'm following up these connections, and also looking at these convenient deaths. For whatever reason they may be, they're very convenient, and I will be surprised if what I'm hearing is true about Wilfred Wong being castrated and fighting for his life. Probably beginning to think that he might be another convenient death. There are things that do not make sense, but what I will say is whatever has happened to Wilfred Wong in prison, was allowed to happen. So before people start blaming the press or blaming me for casting a little bit of doubt, I just want to point that out, that prisoners will always attack someone who's been charged with abducting an 8-year-old child. No matter what the mitigating circumstances are, the rescue attempt is not going to make them not attack him. So, they knew that was going to happen if they did. That's exactly what's happened. So for me, I'm wondering why it was allowed to happen. And as I said before, be very, very aware of every guest who has gone on to make money or start up foundations or to start up charities or who have put themselves in a position after being on Sean Atwood, in a position where it allows them to have access to vulnerable children and young people, i.e. survivors and victims and genuinely vulnerable people, because it seems to me that it's very easy for people to do this without anyone being able to ask questions. I just believe that before people are allowed to be allowed to set up any platform without any checking of their story, which is full of holes anyway. And I'm talking about Jeanette Archer with Safe House, because that bothers me that she's linked with Camilla. Yeah. And like I said, before anybody's allowed to do this and work with these people or provide psychotherapy or they do need to provide a bit more evidence than what is being put forward. It's transparency, and also as well, the only qualifications I can see that is needed is you just need to have to go on Sean Atwood. Or give us that, and no checks, no nothing, and then no one's allowed to ask questions without being attacked. Which I asked a question, got attacked, couldn't give a toss. And like I said, I have to be careful about what I say. It's becoming very concerning, John's silence. And I do think that John needs to raise his head to say he is okay. There's a lot of, there's a big attempt to try and convince people that he's okay, i.e., activity on his phone. And I know that the last text I got from John wasn't from John. I would, and I'm saying that the activity on his phone, whoever's doing that, makes it, if I'm right, you are complicit in misleading. Well, it will turn out a missing persons inquiry. And the thing is, I don't want to hear from anybody telling me they've spoke to John. John can put a public podcast up with today's paper, so I know it's real. Yeah, 30 seconds of your time, John. Just let me know that you are okay, and then I can start reevaluating my research or reevaluating things that I might have thought. Because right now, I need you to show that you're okay. Because, well, like I said, convenient deaths have happened and convenient disappearances have happened. Now, I am not throwing accusations at John. Yeah, I just need to know, how much of certain issues, certain things he was aware of. And yes, there are a lot of links to people that are definitely not there to help children. And well, I don't know what else. At the moment, not a lot else I can say. I am just asking questions, and I want to know where the hell is John. And as I said, whether Wilfred Wong lived, the satanic cult. If the rescue mission is to be believed, we already know the names of the satanic cult, and I will give you one bit of little information. If to be believed that the father, he spent time living in Richmond, Surrey. Just a little fact. But if you want to do, you'll have to do your own research, but it's all there. You've just got to dig a little bit deeper. So before you start jumping on me and what I'm asking and telling me I've betrayed John, I've done this, that and the other, go and do your own little bits of research. Yeah. On what you're commenting on. Yeah, because everything that I have mentioned here today is open source information. And I am obviously diving a little bit more into the NSPCC being linked with Kids Company, and I believe there are some Nexium links. There are definitely connections, direct connections. And obviously I hope that I can move on soon and just crack on with doing what I do best, which is exposing child abuse, which at the moment, I wasn't expecting it to be so close to home. And I need for John to put his head out of water and tell me that he's okay. Yeah, that will mean a lot, not just to me, but to people. I'm not the only one who's worried. Yeah, I'm not the only one who's noticed the disappearance. And to be quite honest with you, not the best time to go into hiding when one of your close friends and confidants and a person who you've boosted him and you've boosted his credibility. If he's been wrongfully arrested and wrongfully incarcerated, John, I'm being called a bad friend for questioning. Where are you? Where is your support? Where is it? Direct. This is what you're meant to do. You support your friends, and obviously we've had you. Apparently, you backed up the rescue story, but that come from somebody who said that they'd spoken to you. So all I'm saying, your absence is being noticed. I'm not going to let it go, John. So either just pop up and say you're okay. Well, that's what you've got to do, mate, because I am not going to let this go. So until you do, you might as well just save a whole heap of time and do a 30-second podcast just to show you're okay. And I am going to leave it there for now. I am sure people will leave their comments or give me their opinions.